Hello, my dear Sagittarius. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between Mars 1 to Mars 15, 2017, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I now use the Legacy of the Divine Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, and I will start shuffling your cards. I call the Divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give a clear view reading for my dear Sagittarius viewers. So I want my dear Sagittarius, 3 of Cups, I want my dear Sagittarius to have love in their lives and find themselves in loving relationships. 3 of Cups is talking about just that. I also want you to have creative success. That might also be 3 of Cups. And I want you to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. I also want to take the chance to tell you about the full moon, March 12. The latest event with the moon is the annular solar eclipse, February 26, when the moon covers the sun but leaves a ring of light due to the moon being too far away from the earth to completely cover the sun. You had the 3 of Cups jumping. It's a card about Trinity, love, those special relationship with people that we really, really care about, and that's kind of our soul, part of our soul group. It might also be you waking up some creative talent. So I will just tune in for a few seconds. Okay, my dear Sagittarius, this is your future. This is your now, and this is your past. The now is probably the first part of Mars 2017, but whenever you watch this, is probably the exact right time to see it. So the first card for you is the Tower. I also saw Death when I shuffled the cards coming up. So the Tower is a cleaning process. It's a healing process. It's like what's everything with you that's not truly aligned with your soul have to go. So that means creative endeavors. If you are working with something that you're not supposed to do, if you are having a behavior that you're not supposed to have, and I'm not talking about bad personal behavior, I mean things that's not aligned with you, and things that's not really truly you, but it's kind of masking up for something, or where you try to compromise yourself so you will be loved. Those kinds of things need to go. Also, maybe relationships that's not really supportive. And I'm not talking about bad relationships here. Usually bad relationships are really good to make you grow and wake up. I mean more people being more abusive, things like this, because this is the Tower is kind of swooping away everything that's not aligned with your soul, and that's include having no self-respect, no self-love, being codependent, things like this. Okay. So the Tower, cleaning process, everything that's not built on solid ground and that's aligning with your soul needs to go. So here we have the High Priestess, and this is the part of you that's very aligned with your soul. The High Priestess is a very impulsive character because she's here almost totally immersed in water. She's very much aligned with her feelings and her wisdom with all, and the subconscious with the moon. It's like she's trusting herself and her instincts and her intuition far more than she trusts any social system or what other people tell her. So she's very in tune with her divine authority, with the divine authority, and she's very convinced that they are speaking through her. This person might be sometimes very happy and turn very sad, very angry in just pulses, like impulses coming from her deep ocean waters. So I think this is what wants to be born due to the Tower event here. So if you're feeling that things are kind of falling, collapsing around you, it's probably because you need to be more in tune with yourself. So, for example, if you have, it's like you need to follow your feelings, even when they are a little bit crazy, even when they risk making things kind of fall out of your reality. For example, relationships are usually very fragile, and if you are very much in tune with your feelings, sometimes being what other people might call over dramatic, things like this, you might feel that this is risking your relationships if you become more in tune with your true self, if you're starting to tell people what you really feel and what you really think. But with this combination, it's kind of no option to stay in the old way, to stay safe and keep everything you know inside of you like a secret. I think the secret part, it's going to resolve, it's going to go away here. So now you have the High Priestess. You also have the High Priestess number 5, the Fate card. So both male and female spiritual growth here. The male spiritual growth has, historically speaking, being more fashion of authority, where we kind of want to leave our body and meet our heavenly self. But with the High Priestess, it's the other way around. We go through our body to find our divine source. So it's a different system. Here we want to kind of not eat or drink or have sex or do anything that's earthly life is for. We try to leave our human body and become a spirit or a saint. But with the High Priestess, it's more like the instinct that animal can have. So they will know. For example, we have the Nile crocodile. It knows in what altitude it should lay its egg on the river Nile, its riverbanks. If the Nile is going to flood, they are going to put their eggs higher up. And if it's going to be a low tide or low water flow this year, they are going to put it lower down. So this is more like this. It's going through your body to find your way forward. So it's different. It is different angles here, and it seems like maybe those two angles needs to emerge. We will see what will happen here. So the next card here, yes, is 4 of Wands. So it's kind of a new stability. It's kind of you building a totally new foundation for yourself, usually with self-love and self-respect. The 4 of Wands also have to do with relationships, kind of taking the next step in a relationship, building a new foundation. So it seems like the old way needs to go, and the masculine and the feminine needs to kind of work together to build this new stability. So it might be going on in your relationships where you kind of can't fake anymore. Maybe you feel like you are getting out of hand, like you can't control your emotions anymore. So that's a really good sign that you are kind of teaming up with your soul. And when you align with yourself and kind of take your side of the show and decide that your feelings is okay, this is going to turn into self-love and self-respect. And you are going to see that your emotion isn't as far out as you can believe or fear. They are actually going to be like those instincts of the crocodile. Okay, so here we have the 7 of Cups. It's the aftermath of those things that has happened to you with the Tower. The 7 of Cups is like this with being oversensitive, dramatic, maybe seeing dangers where there is none, having fears where you don't actually need to fear things, seeing ghosts everywhere, starting to maybe be suspicious of things, that things will happen. this is just cleaning out of your system. So try to be very mindful when this happens. Try to be with yourself step by step when you are starting to feel very agitated or suspicious or jealous, or you kind of feel that things aren't really right, things will go very wrong here. So start to just feel this, what's happening within you, because it's probably, it's like we have our patterns, we have our old projections. So every time we are put in the face of danger, it's like putting the play button or starting this pattern. So it will just play itself out. It's like you will say the thing that you always say, and things will end up the way they always do. And it's a pattern within you that you need to start to see, and it's going to be very healthy, because you are going to see that you are not actually seeing the reality exactly as it is. You see it through your glasses, the projections, the experience that you have been through before is kind of coloring your experience that you are being through now. But I still urge you to feel those feelings, but you don't maybe always have to act upon them in a very dramatic way. You can tell people more like, I suspect this is what's going to happen now, or I feel that you might be thinking this about me, you know, the suspicions that's coming forth here. The Seven of Cups has come for rather many signs now. So I think this is something that's happening on a grand scale. This being aware of your pain cycles and your patterns and your projections, and kind of, you know, nourish yourself through those. Not being angry with yourself because you have those patterns. They have been there for a reason. But now, when you are becoming more aware and awake, you are going to see them a couple of times before you will be able to make small adjustments to change those patterns and becoming more whole, because it's old wounds, it's old assumptions that things will go wrong or things will happen in a certain order. And usually when we fear things, this is also what we create. So it's very good to be aware of those patterns. This was in the past, probably in February. So for those of you watching already in February, this will be in the now, probably. This is the first half of March 2017, and we have a Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords comes underneath the Tower. The Queen of Swords has the same quality as the High Priestess, being very intuitive and things like this, but she has been maybe a bit not so well treated on her earthly experience. So she has become a little bit distant from everything. She kind of knows a lot of things, but she don't want to express this because she feels like she will become judged, or that people won't really understand her. And this has been the truth for a long time, but now it's time for you to start telling the things that you know about yourself, or the things that you see, or the things that you know is going to kind of happen in your relationship. So because some of those won't be reality, some of those will be projections, but some of those is things that you need to share with people, that they need to see through your eyes as well. Because sometimes it's very good if a friend can tell us, like, help us along the way with becoming self-aware. And the Queen of Swords is very good at this. She can make one look at the person and kind of know what kind of person that is and how they will act in different situations. Kind of, she is a bit judgmental, to be honest, but she's usually not telling what she sees. She's kind of a little bit like Oracle in Delphi. It's just that no one asks about her visions and she doesn't tell. So there's a lot of secrecy going on here with the Tower and the High Priestess and the Queen of Swords. It's like you know a lot of things and you know how you could fix things, but it's like you are reluctant to reach out because you think that people won't understand you. So you have come to a rather difficult part of your journey where you actually need to maybe first understand yourself and then be able to tell other people also what's going on within you. Because if you can learn to understand yourself, other people will understand you too. If you can start to communicate who you are inside there. Here you have the Hangman coming underneath the High Priestess. So it's like you're stuck with this. This inner drama, or those, it's like your emotions has gotten like it's a volume button that has heightened the volume of your feelings, and it's like you want it to go away. You want to become normal again. You don't want to feel like this. You don't want to you want to be able to keep control over your emotions and kind of not tell people what you really feel and what you really think. And with the Hangman, it's like you're being trapped. And it's a major arcana card, like also the Tower, the High Priestess, and the Fate card that you have gotten. So this is major things that's happening on a grand scale in your life, and from a divine perspective, it's very good that you are trapped here because they want to force you or squeeze you into becoming your true self and to tell the truth. It's like you are going to try to find other way out, and instead of telling people what you really feel and what you really think and those things, but you will not find any way out. The only way out will be to actually explain exactly what's going on within you, and also figuring this out yourself, because it might be a puzzle to you as well. So we see this, it's a lot of coins falling. So it's a time of sacrifice where your old social skills kind of needs to go, because you're becoming your true self. And we can see that the time has kind of stopped here. So you are going to be stuck as long as you don't start to tell the truth about who you really are and what you really see. And I don't mean that you should tell people like, oh God, you are fat in those jeans. I mean that you are going to tell people like, I feel really abandoned in this situation. Or I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I need to be for myself a few hours here. Or maybe you are going to be very emotional about things that you're usually not emotional about, and you need to show it. It's like people needs to become more truly themselves. It's what I'm seeing with many of the signs right now. It's like many are going through this purification. So I think it's on a grander scale also for you. So as long as you don't tell the truth about who you are and what you really think and what you really feel, you are not going to be able to move on. You are going to be stuck in the same patterns. So here we have a Knight of Swords. That's usually Gemini. It can be other air signs as well as Aquarius and Libra. This is Libra usually, and this is Gemini usually. Libra is wants to keep peace, so they don't really tell everything that they know, but they are very they know things. But they keep this a secret. The Knight of Swords, the Gemini, is a little bit different. It's more like conqueror coming with new ideas, and they kind of shovel it down your throat and really want you to see it their way. And what's in between here is the Hangman. So it seems like we have two different personalities here. One that's know a lot of things but keeps this a secret. The other one being more reckless and kind of telling people what they see and what they want and what they need and everything like this. And maybe this is what you need to do. Being more reckless, being more like taking chances. It's like when two cultures meet. We can see that it's two cultures that meet here with a High Priestess and a Fate card as well. So it's like here also two cultures is meeting, and it's going to be very fertile. So you're going to be two people that's very, or two groups of people, or that's going to be very not like each other, and it's like you're going to fertilize one another with your different viewpoints. and it's air, so it's a lot about communication, and it's secrets here. So, and the hangman. So I think it's like if you could start to tell people the truth about how you feel and who you are and everything, and you will also make them do the same thing. It's a little bit of masculine influence here. This is more feminine. So you can fertilize each other. It's like yin and yang. You can, and also when you start telling the truth, other people might be able to also tell what they really feel and what they really think, and it could be a very good situation actually. And here we have the Fool card. So this is when things hit off again, and we see that time starts running again. And we see this little dog hanging on for sheer life. We know the Knight of Swords being kind of reckless. So we have the Knight of Swords together with the Fool. Some of you might have to do with the Gemini. I believe that those cards came for Gemini as well. It's like taking chances, being impulsive, taking risks. And this is what we saw also with the High Priestess for you. So I think that also you need to start to take chances and more risks. Being a little bit more reckless, being a little bit more like many people that believes in destiny, they want to go with the flow. They don't want to change anything because they are afraid. It's like being going back in time and being afraid of hurting the butterflies and other things. So when they come back to the now, everything will have changed. So it's like you're very careful. You don't want to risk changing anything. It's like you don't want the responsibility. But what I see here is you getting this responsibility. You have both the High Priestess and Fate card, and here is how it plays out in the real world. So I think you need to take the responsibility, becoming more you, and actually affecting and changing things in your reality, starting to ignite different viewpoints and truths, and like it starts rolling again. It's by your creation. So it's like you're starting to co-creating with the divine. Before, maybe you have waited for the divine to create things for you and you can jump on the train. But here it's like you're co-creating. You need to be very truthful. Maybe create a little drama now and then to get unstuck from the hangman. The Fool is, as we know, a little impulsive. So here we also have the Ten of Swords. So it seems like there's a risk for relationship breakdown, but it's because the old way of thinking is needing to break down. We saw this with the Tower. The Ten of Swords is like you have done something to its full extent. So now it's time for the old to break down and something new to begin, like with the Fool. So maybe you have done this with self-control as far as we could go, and now not something new needs to come, and maybe not so much self-control anymore, but actually being more intuitive and more acting by instinct and impulses. It's like we're getting more in tune with the divine, and they want to be able to kind of give you a new road signs and new pinpoints all the time, so you will be able to change in a split second. So they will send you a lot of energy with emotions maybe that will make you from one second to the other feel very different and wants to take another action. So it's like we are being very like step by step guided through our emotions, through our reactions, through our impulses, intuition, things like this. So it's like we are tuning in now to becoming more listening more to our communication systems, like the feelings and the thoughts and hunches and guesses and impulses and things like this. It's like a heightening of the speed of this communication. So here is in the future, it's still Libra. We have Libra here. Queen of Swords is also Libra. So it seems like it's you don't want things to fall. You don't want to lose things. Maybe you are very afraid of losing a relationship or a job or something else that's very important for you. So you try to be very balanced. Even if this is raging going on inside you, you are trying to pretend like nothing is happening here. And you try to keep silent. You have a mask also, a scarf over your eyes. But we still have the moon here from the High Priestess, and we know that the moon is subconscious. It's all your feelings and emotions and everything, all your experience that might sometimes make you really afraid to take the next step. So it seems like it's like you're standing on the brink of an abyss and are hesitating to make the jump. But I think you are going to make the jump eventually. It's like taking on a challenge. It's about truth also. The Two of Swords is usually you don't want to risk a relationship, you don't want to risk a job, so you're kind of trying to keep silent as long as you can. So it's a lot of with keeping silence here and trying to keep up a happy face, and though things are going on underneath the surface that can feel not so happy. Here we have the Eight of Swords, so it's much like the Hanged Man, and it's a person being entangled. Here we have your the thing that wants to come through here, the High Priestess, all your wisdom, your intuition, your impulses, your true self wants to come through, but you're stopping this as far as you can because it's threatening your existence. It's what you feel. So you want to behave in the old way that you have learned is a good way, and not always bothering people with I feel like this, I react like this. When you say like that, you just want to keep silent. You don't want to cause problems. But it's getting more pressure here, and it's still this with not speaking the truth. So it's like you're getting more and more entangled in lies, or more and more entangled in your own feelings, like they are getting more and more dramatic, and you need to use more and more force to keep them in chess, to keep them in place, so you won't react. And here we have the Moon card coming from the Tower and the Hangman, like so here. So the Moon is from the High Priestess, your intuition, and it's also with this projection thingy. So you are going to have to face the feelings that's coming within you. It's like a tidal wave. It's just going to hit you, and you are not going to be able to stand against this. And it wants to come. It's actually a liberation of your true self, facing first a lot of emotions that you have tried to push away, a lot of feelings that you didn't want to have, but now they are just coming like a tidal wave, and you need to start to see them and feel them and give them a lot of attention, so that they may heal, and eventually they will get you to start to know yourself better. First your dislikes, probably what you don't want, and eventually also your likes, what you do want, what's going to make you happy, and what's going to make you happy and what you are longing for is back to the High Priestess, your intuition, your highest road, where you need to go. So we have Fate here, and Knight of Swords, and the Moon. So it's like put fate into your own reckless self, and the dynamics in what you want to express, and the dynamics in your feelings. It's like you need to have a little fate here in yourself, and that's what's the truth for you, what's actually happening. You can't pretend that it's not going on, because it's actually going on. And maybe you're used to be like happy and have things in order and be very effective and be a good part of the society and not being over dramatic and things like this. And you don't know what's happening with you. But what's happening with you is an awakening. You are starting to become more yourself. And I see that you are trying to just stop this. You don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen anyway. So here is a very good moment to go with the flow. this tidal wave is going to help you heal. It's going to be very prosperous, but you need to become more truthful to your true self. Here we also have the wheel. So the wheel is everything is going to change. It's like a big revolution going on, and it's going to be a miraculously good change. It's going to come with good things to you. So if you just let go of your very cramped up holding of yourself, trying to hold yourself back, trying to keep yourself still, sitting in the boat, not rocking the boat, but here's the boat is rocking, so it's nothing to do with this. You just need to go with it. It's forces out of your control. It's something wants to be born here to your life. New self-love, new aligning with yourself, self-respect, your true self, who you were when you came, and working together with the divine to it's very synchronistic with the wheel, and it's also probably a lot of karma that's need to be resolved here. It's a very beautiful spread in my view. You have the number 10, the wheel, and here's number 9, and the hermit. So it's kind of counting down. It's going to help you come to more self-realization. You are going to face your troublesome feelings and your troublesome thoughts, and this is going to make you more enlightened. And you actually have the hermit and the moon in the same row. And number 9, 1, 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. So those cards are very connected. When you go inside, when you start to feel your inner space, when you start to listen to your emotions, kind of feel where they is in your body, listen to your thoughts, what are you telling yourself? This is the process of getting to know yourself and getting to know who you really are and why you're here. The things you want to express that's kind of coming natural and that you try to stop is actually your true express. It's like your true, how you truly should, the true imprint you should have on the world is through this more dramatic self that you are and that you currently is trying to be logic about. We don't see so much fire here except for the 4 of Wands. In other cases, it's a lot of air going on, and it's because you're trying to stop this fire. Your fire is your spiritual self, the longing, the creativity, the passion, things like, and you want to stop them from happening because you want to be logic and be in self-control, but the logic is going to go. Logic is only like a little part of your awakened self. The subconscious is bearing all the information. Your mind, your logic might only be able to have like 10% of the picture. So you are going to be much more powerful after you have aligned with your subconscious self, with your instincts and your intuition and things like this. So I'm going to take cards from you for you from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms to see what's going on with my dear Sagittarius. Okay, so very interesting. We have both the Dream Walker and the Web Weaver. So the Dream Walker is it's like walking in a dream, and you're trying to do the best you can for everyone's benefits, and that's probably why you're holding back and trying to be logic, because you don't want to be a burden to others. You don't want to make them sad or upset. You don't want to kind of tell like how you feel, how they make you feel truly, because you don't want other people to hurt. But you're trapped in an illusion because you're not being your truthful self. So this is going to change. We have the Web Weaver here, the Synchronicity card, Divine Intelligence, Cause and Effect. So it's like you're waking up from a dream here and becoming your true self, and also becoming very in tune with the web of creation. We can actually see the web. It's kind of entangling you here in many situations. But this is the resistance to this web. Your resistance to being a part of the creation. You don't want to be dramatic and and things like this. But this is a calling. It's like being called to. When you are changing, it's going to spread like rings on water. The web weaver is kind of when you are waking up, a lot of people are going to wake up with you. So when you do this work for yourself, it's very good, because it's kind of very helpful for the whole world. So we are going back to this. You wanted to be logic and keep yourself under control, so you won't be a burden, but you will actually be less of a burden when you become more your true self, because you will help other people to also become their true self, and this is a great awakening. So for those of you wondering about a relationship, yes, it's going to be a rocky road down here, but when you start to become your true self and not fighting yourself anymore, it seems like it's going to be a new birth for this relationship. Something new is going to be born into this relationship, something more truthful, probably something all miraculous. Here with the web weaver and the wheel, it's and also the Fool is very brave cards, and it's also very supportive cards. How you get a lot of help from the divine. So if you want something, if you want the relationship to if you want to stay together, or if you want some help, ask for it, because it seems like you have a lot of help right now. So ask for help and help will come. This is what I see. But also you need to become more truthful with who you really are. You can't pretend anymore just for the sake of keeping things together, because they will fall apart anyway. So past life oracle card for you, and we have the High Priestess, priest or priestess, and we already have those with those two cards. So this is 2 in 1, and love life. So it seems like it's even more crucial that you are your true self in a love relationship. Maybe it's here that you are going to do your awakening, through your relationships, through your mirroring with others. And when you are starting to tell the truth, that's the truth for you, other people is going to, the person that you're talking with is going to learn from you. So it seems very healthy in the end, even if it's a rocky road right now. So the more truthful you can be, the more it will help your relationship in the long run. So don't be scared to gamble a little bit and be a little bit reckless, and kind of start telling the truth. It seems to be just what the doctor ordered, and maybe it will cause a true miracle in your life as well. Okay, my dear Sagittarius, I'm so thankful for you watching this far, and I'm also very grateful for all of you subscribing, liking, and commenting to my videos. I want you to take really good care, and I hope to see you again in the middle of Mars. Okay, bye-bye.